You know, the trouble with being psychologically disturbed is that no matter how you get out of it and get back to normalcy, as soon as you tell people you had mental problems, they still treat you like you're nutty. I walked in ever-decreasing concentric circles until I found my head up my ass. I was sitting in my house on 13th East, and I couldn't decide whether to have a hard-boiled egg, a scrambled egg, or eggs. I couldn't make that decision.
Eggs.
I was there, stuck, and a friend said, let me take you to the hospital, and they took me right in. I was in the mental hospital at the University of Utah, and they gave me days off to go out. I called my agent. She said, they're shooting a movie out in Park City, an Italian film company, and you go out there. I won't charge you if you get the part. I went there. They said, come back again. And when I came back, they said, the person who was supposed to do it didn't show up, so you can do it.
Can I help you?
Coffee.
There's no coffee here in Nilbog. It's the devil's drink.
Eggs.
You know, this is me. This is who I am. It's you know a lot about people by the toys they have. These are my people. These are my people. If they were to run for office, I'd vote for them. I smoked an enormous amount of pot then to stay sane. And when I got on the set, I had no idea what it all meant or what I was doing or what I was saying. I don't know where we went or what we did, and I had no idea of what the total movie was. And I didn't see it until 20 years later. And I was amazed how creepy I looked. I looked at that person who looked like this, and I realized I was really troubled. I wasn't acting. I can tell you that I wasn't acting. That was a troubled person talking. It was a terrible experience making that movie. It was always cold. It was always remote. And I remember there was a little kid there, a little Mormon kid, who was really a pain in the ass, and he was a star. And I wanted to kill him. And I was in the scene with him where I said, try this, you like it? And I really wanted to feed him that green stuff. I wanted to grab his head and put it in it. A guy in my position doesn't want to see anybody happy, bubbly, effervescing. Your life is so miserable that you don't want to hear anything good about anyone else in the world. You resent anyone saying, like, have a happy day, or anyone having a good time. And that little kid was a pain in the... In fact, everyone annoyed me. And everyone, it's not their fault, it's my take on it. I suffered from anxiety, depression. That means if I wasn't anxious, I was depressed. So it's conflicting of two things, and you're starched and stressed all day, and there's no way of coming out of it. They give you some sort of drugs to calm one, and then the other becomes magnified. It's a terrible frame of mind or state of mind to be in. You're at the mercy of something you have no control over. Looking back, I survived 30 or 40 years, which I consider wasted in my whole life. Wasted because I was just surviving and outrunning it, trying to run away from it. I went to Europe for 9 years in a row. I had money, and I could never get away from being my crazy self. I even had one here that had a breakdown in Spain. I had an anxiety attack, and I passed out on the trolley or something. And then when I revived, I was in a hospital in Cannes in France. Every once in a while, I think I shift back to it, but it never doesn't happen. I know how to get out of it.
You just looks darker.
The dentist, the one who played the father with the southern accent, called me. That's how I found out about it. I was in the audience. I didn't want to go up on the stage.
Don Packard showed up and was sitting in the audience.
Yeah, he wasn't even necessarily wanting to be part of the Q&A.
We had to go and ask him, and he was like, "Oh, you want me to? Oh,
we're like,
okay.
You flew to New York just to watch this?"
And the woman sitting next to me said, "You are great." She kept saying, "You were great." I was won over.
This is pretty incredible. I'm pretty giddy about it. The owner of the general store.
I went like this, and everybody applauded. I was thrilled. I went like this. They all applauded when I came out. And somehow I was freed. I wasn't self-conscious. It was really a golden experience for me. The part I had nothing to do with the rest of the movie. And I don't know who, the truth is, I don't know who these people were. Never felt that good in all my life. Really, I never was thrilled at being who I was until that moment in Manhattan. I wish all the people I offended, I could write and ask them, I apologize, I was an asshole all these years, I didn't mean it. But they're not interested, they forgot you. You know, you come and go, but you're stuck. You're stuck with being who you were and the damage you've done. And I believe I've caused more harm than good in my lifetime. I left home, never went back. I had a sister, a brother. I just didn't want to be with them anymore. I didn't like them. It was my decision. And I didn't like being around them. So I left. And I was damaged. I was damaged. When you learn dishonesty, that's what you know. My father and brother, and we just did things that were dishonest. And it didn't matter because we didn't know any better. You see that colonoscopy there? I have a colonoscopy, and I was going to turn that into a Christmas card.
I never thought it was such a bad little tree. It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love.